So here we are, one of the biggest video game franchises ever is now available on Sony's powerful handheld. Many were skeptic when we learned about Nihilistic being the developer of the game. Many were more skeptic when we learned Activision didn't even know much about the game. And now here we are with the finished product. I wanted to be surprised, I wanted this to be big, but it's not. Call of Duty Black Ops Declassified has little to offer, can oftentimes be buggy, and is pretty short-lived. But there is a silver lining which I'll get to in a minute. There's 3 things you'll be doing in Declassified: Operations Mode, Hostiles Mode, and Multiplayer. Operations Mode is a lot like Spec Ops from Modern Warfare. They're small missions with no checkpoints where you complete them each and earn a star rating based on what difficulty you beat it on. This essentially replaces any sort of campaign the game would have had, as some of the missions have prior cutscenes that detail what you're going to do, which develops the story for Black Ops 2, since Declassified takes place between Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2. But there's nothing entirely exciting about them. Don't expect to be spending much time playing these though. There's only 10 missions. If you play them on a regular difficulty setting, these can be finished in under 2 hours. 5 hours if you're playing them on Veteran. While they are enjoyable, it's disappointing that you can't play this mode with more than one person. They were encouraged to be played this way in Modern Warfare, and it's sorely missing here. Next up is Hostiles Mode. This again is another mode from Modern Warfare. There's waves of enemies, and you have to survive as long as possible. This was very fun, but only for about an hour. There's no real depth to it at all. There's no upgrades, buying guns, perks, there's no large variations of enemies, there's only a random drop every wave. It could be a new gun, it could be a mortar strike, but how well you do does not affect it. Even worse, the AI in this mode is easily manipulated. Without even trying, I was able to make them not hunt me down, stay where they were, and wait for me to come kill them. They sometimes wouldn't do anything, or they'd even run away from me. What gives? This was also another section of the game that only made me miss having multiple players. It's a no-brainer. And lastly, there's multiplayer. And it's easily the most important part of the game, and it's actually easily the most best part of the game too. Online harkens back to the classic systems used in the previous Call of Duties. Nothing from Black Ops 2's redesigned system is here, but that's not a bad thing. The perks are there, your kill streaks, classes, attachments, it's there. And it's actually really fun. There's also Prestige mode for those that love the level grind. Some of the issues with multiplayer are its 4-on-4 max player limit. At times, larger maps felt empty and boring when you were trying to hunt down other players. However, maps like Nuke House and Container fix that since they're much smaller. There's also not many modes to choose from, with only 5 in total. Keep in mind though, the amount of players and modes is easily justified by the fact that not many people own Vitas. The online will be nowhere near as populated as it is on consoles. So this design choice was actually probably for the best, for you to easily find players and matches. Some of the other issues with the game as a whole comes from the environments and player movement. For me, when I started playing, it didn't feel like Call of Duty. There was a bit of a learning curve trying to get used to moving me around. You'll definitely get a little frustrated early on trying to adjust the sensitivity, trying to get that feeling that you're used to. In fact, when you start up the game, there's an auto run feature turned on, which makes your character run as soon as you move the stick. This felt really weird and unnatural, but turning it off and using the manual sprint makes for a quick fix if you don't want to use that. As for the environment, it's not very polished. There's many invisible walls, and taking cover near certain objects sometimes bugs out your aim and positions. It really became bothersome trying to play Operations on Veteran, but when playing online when you're exposed to more open space, that issue disappears. So where does all this leave us? In a nutshell, Operations in Hostiles mode lacks content, features, and it's just pretty buggy. Online, while it is small, is actually really fun. If Black Ops Declassified was a $10 PSN game, I'd be singing a different tune here. The content would be plenty for a small investment, but this is $50. That's like pricing Journey at $50. It's good, but not $49.99 good. Keep in mind, that's $10 less than retail games on PS3. Games like Uncharted Golden Abyss or Need for Speed Most Wanted proved that full console experiences can be made for the PlayStation Vita, thus being fairly priced like them. But when you've got a game that is priced like one and simply doesn't deliver on the content to the point where everything can be played in one day, it's just not good. Not only is the content lacking, but the content that is there can sometimes be buggy too. The silver lining to Black Ops Declassified is its multiplayer. Despite it being small and using tried and true mechanics, it's tons of fun and it's filled with challenges, it has prestige mode for completionists, it's really good. I only hope that Declassified has made an example of how fun Call of Duty on Vita could be. If the next Call of Duty will be like this one, it needs to be priced appropriately and all the bugs need to be fixed before it's released. But if it delivers the true Call of Duty experience that the Vita is easily capable of delivering, it'll be a force to be reckoned with.